Hey, 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 the month of April is here. It is Talk Now SA. I'm Chris Duel with two of the most beautiful and most talented women in San Antonio. I got a tough job. I think that's why I created the job, just to hang out with beautiful, talented women, because otherwise they wouldn't talk to me. But if there's a camera and a show, it could happen, and it has. Of course, the beautiful Vanessa Macias is here. She has issues about the Miami Heat, I'm sure.
You can just end his issues.
I like how he finished it.
That should be her title, Vanessa Macias, just underneath. She has issues. And she does. And Nikki Young, whom we love, who is so talented and is always, you're either producing television or plays, or you're in them, or you're acting. You're a Renaissance gal, is what you are.
I like to say I'm an entrepreneur.
Ooh.
I love that.
I deem that phrase, entrepreneur. Maybe Wikipedia.
You need to. Do you have the web domain for that?
I should get that.
You need to grab that.
Now everyone's like,
now some scumbag's gonna steal it. It was your idea, and if you do it, you're a scumbag.
All right, yeah, please don't. If you do, then let me have it. Gift it to me. Right?
Exactly.
I'm an entrepreneur.
I just did it, but I'll give it to you.
Travis just stole it.
Thanks, Travis.
Yeah.
You're a good guy, Travis.
That's crazy.
I think Travis has like the cool. That sounds like an author of a book.
Yes.
Yeah.
He does.
I think he has written books.
Have you written books, Travis?
Five books.
That's
why. See, he was born with the writer name.
He's got that thing going on.
I think I've started 5 books. I just never finished them.
Have you done the ebook thing?
Great.
Have you done the ebook?
I have not.
I have not either. My mom is all about the ebook thing.
Has she written one or more?
No, she's just reading.
Oh, she reads it. Okay. See,
wait, ebooks. Yeah, I read them. I haven't written one.
Yeah, I haven't got into the whole. I mean, I do a lot of Facebooking and social media stuff, as we talked about. Oh, yeah. But I don't do the ebook.
See, I like to highlight and write in the margins. It's like, remember this, Chris, don't ever forget this isn't important.
And make notes.
That made the transition a little bit difficult, but you can highlight and take notes. It's just, there's something organic about holding a paperback and like having it and scribbling and
the smell and everything.
It's but no, I've gotten into like my iPad and I highlight and tab and
but I can't do that. It's clunky. It's harder. It's so much easier with a book to pull out a highlighter than it is to. And on the iPad, when you try to highlight on Kindle, at least, it always misses. It's like you'll drag it down for 3 lines, and it'll go 6 lines, and then you'll try to go up, and it'll go all the way up. And you're taking 27 minutes to try to highlight.
And I have the Stone Age.
You are.
No, I have the Stone Age iPad. Like the first one that ever came out. So I was like, what am I going to do with this thing? It does everything my phone does except make phone calls. So I'm going to walk around like Zach Morris with this thing. And so it's like...
For those of you who don't get that, Saved by the Bell. There you go.
If you don't get Saved by the Bell, then you're
I didn't get... I was too old for Saved by the Bell. So I didn't get it.
You have to go back and watch.
I was like 30.
Episode.
I was like 30 when Saved by the Bell came out.
Mark Paul Gosselaar. Right? And I think at some point he was an Aggie.
Okay, well that's good.
That's what our Texas connection was.
That helps
us.
us.
It's a small point. I mean, but
at one point he was dead as well.
It's Wikipedia. So who knows?
Well, and he was an Aggie before being an Aggie was cool. Now with the whole Johnny Manziel and the SEC, now it's like.
If you go to Wikipedia, and then again, some A&M alum probably said, "Yeah, he was an Aggie. Mark Paul, marry me." So you don't know who Mark Paul Gosselaar? Did you watch Franklin and Bash?
No.
NYPD Blue in the old days when
in the way old days.
Okay, he's the one that took over after Ricky Schroeder.
Who is now Rick Schroeder.
Excuse
me.
See,
you're so old school.
I'm so old
Rick
school.
Schroeder.
Ricky Schroeder.
Tiger Beat, Ricky Schroeder.
Yeah.
I want to marry you.
I had my phone on in case you called me.
Okay.
So I am a professional. I turn my phone off when the show starts. Right.
See, as a producer, though, you don't have to have your phone off. Right?
Yeah, because you're getting big phone calls. You have people. You have agents and people calling you.
In case. I've been getting in a little bit of trouble for saying things that are a little bit offensive.
We have to tell Nikki.
What is that?
Nikki's, you're very respectable, not just some. This is our swear jar.
Oh.
So if you drop an F-bomb, you have to put $1 in.
But that was all yours.
This was Vanessa in the final 30 minutes last Friday. And it goes to Gridiron Heroes. It's for we're swearing for a good cause. We're swearing for a good.
It's not all one show. That's like a couple.
Yeah.
Is it only F-bombs?
No, no. And there are refs that's like that's $1.
Well, and there's some words that we debate. It's like the word bitch.
Right.
Is that if they say it on TV?
That's correct. If ABC says it, my thing is if the mouse allows it, then it's not a curse word.
Ooh, see?
Nice.
That's
we
that's
have a standard.
How so when I work with a lot of young actors, right? And so sometimes there's cursing in their script. So I coach actors in film and things and stage. And so sometimes there's cursing, and I always kind of have to look at it and explain the difference between TV and reality. What is the difference, really?
Nothing.
Right. And so, not in our world.
No.
Look, we have cameras follow us everywhere.
Yeah,
No, and
tell me
so,
about
but
it.
there really is a difference. TV reality. But I also explained that, okay, this is an ABC pilot. The mouse allowed it. It must not be a curse word. They can
See?
say ass. They can say bitch.
I'm glad you went with the mouse and not like with Elmo's standards. I think that's where it gets
That's
dicey.
changed. That's changed. Oh, poor Elmo.
Aw, he just has little sex parties. Who dares? Yeah. Give kids some
That whole
drugs.
tickle me thing.
Yes. For people who don't know, and again, I'm going to start from square one with Nikki Young. I know most if you're
This will be fun.
if you're hip to San Antonio, you know who Nikki Young is, but you might not be. And there's people watching across the country. We found this out.
I
Really?
love that.
Te-
Hi, Wyoming. I love
Hello,
you.
Wyoming. You rock. Land of Dick Cheney.
Oh.
For people who may not know your background, in a quick couple of paragraphs.
Of course. So my background, I have a Bachelor's of Fine Arts in theater. I went to Southwest, now Texas State, but nonetheless, gig 'em. I'm a bobcat.
Yeah.
This is our hand symbol. This is the shape of Texas, and that's San Marcos.
See, I never knew that. That is
Yeah.
kind of Texas.
And it's kind of a claw like
I can't
a
even
bobcat.
do
So
that.
you gotta, there
The
you go.
state of
So
Texas.
it's a claw like a bobcat, and then the San Marcos. Anyways,
Ours is a
what is that? Where'd you go?
eagle.
Oh, North Texas? I
I
went.
it's mean green, and they
Yeah, mean
can't
green.
decide which one.
I went to
It's
North
bad
Texas
branding.
before I went to Southwest. But I
Why
graduated
did you
from
leave North
Southwest.
Texas?
Yeah.
Well, actually, not to get into a whole different kind of story, but real quick, my appendix ruptured and I didn't have a choice. I'm a workaholic, as you may already know.
Yes, you are.
And I ignored it for like 3 days. And so
That's really dangerous.
Yeah, I kept going, God, I have this horrible pain, and I just kept.
Did you at least swear when you had the appendix? Because I've never heard you swear off the air. I mean, I've known you off the air and off
Yes.
the stage, whereas Vanessa and I swear like drunken sailors. But
I
I mean, you're
I
like a
do.
nun. You
No,
don't swear ever.
I'm French, so.
Okay, so you do. All right. Okay.
It does come out.
Okay.
But anyway, so after college, I met my now business partner there, Chad Green, and we started Prima Donna Productions. True story. We went off to LA because I'm a kind of a schooly one, so I had an internship. On the plane trip back, one of those stories, we actually wrote it on the cocktail napkin. What we wanted to do. We landed, and I'd had a babysitting company. I've always been an entrepreneur. I had a babysitting company for years, and so one of the families I nannied for, he was a lawyer, so we traded services. He did all my legal paperwork. We started Prima Donna Productions, and we did video production, we did marketing, and all these crazy things that we wanted it to be. And we did that for 10 years. Became a corporation. I was a female-owned business. I am, but in 2010, after 10 years, I kind of got exhausted because it was supposed to be like that was our day job, all the marketing stuff, to be able to do our creative stuff. And it's actually the scales were weighing so much. We were doing stuff for everybody else that all of our projects were like stacking up and everything. And not that I am not proud of the work I did for other people, but I looked and said, wait a minute, this is what I went to school for. Something's wrong. I was like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, I looked at Chad and Lee, who works with us. Hey,
Yeah.
Lee. He's watching.
Hello, Lee.
Hey, Lee. And so we all looked at each other and we were all like miserable. So we stopped, and what made us change, we did Rumors with Chris Duel.
I had a cameo little bit part.
Yes, on stage.
They'll let
He's
anybody
fabulous.
on stage, apparently.
No,
Yeah.
I wanted him. And so on stage.
Damn.
I know, but I've always had a
Okay.
crush
I always
on
wanted to
Chris.
hear a woman say that.
You know what? I don't ever ask questions anymore. It's
Yeah.
like, here's your task.
Yeah.
Go for it.
But we did Rumors. We're like, didn't we have fun at Rumors? And it was that post, inner creative. No, I missed that. So we changed. We went back to doing our own projects. And though I lost 80% of my income, I became 80% happier.
See?
Yeah.
Bingo, bango, bongo. That's a big thing. What was cool about Rumors was every week they had a different, in this one role, which is a small role that a non-actor like me could play, they would rotate. So they had different people from San Antonio.
It's like Rita was on.
Cool.
Roman was on.
And Rita
Jade was on.
doing Univision,
Jade.
by the way.
Jade
Is
is-
it Univision or Telemundo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rita's doing one of the two. Which one is it? I don't know.
I confuse my...
Watch for Rita. Just whatever channel she's on.
And we may, by the way, we may have her on because
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
got a couple things going when we talk to her.
Yeah,
she may
she's-
be on this week.
She's making a
brilliant.
movie.
Yes.
Y'all gotta talk about that. Yeah,
Okay.
She's always doing
something.
stuff. And I was going to say, because not that I'm a psychologist by any stretch of the imagination, but you seem to be a little bit ADD.
ADD?
A little bit?
No, I think I'm just I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't party, so I have to have some sort of vice.
But
so work is my vice.
No. I'm not saying to be negative. I think that some of the most successful people have ADD. Like, I think some of the most famous leaders, now I'll go back and research this for tomorrow, but have ADD. And I think you have to have a certain level of just that attention deficit disorder and to have so many multitasking to be successful. And I think that if the way you described it, going from babysitting to this and that, and like you think you just do it, just go, it's move. I think you need to do that. So why would you rather have like attention surplus disorder? Like, would you rather just focus on one thing and one thing only and have blinders on?
I don't want to be I don't want to be single, tunnel vision. I want to be multitasking. So yes,
I think that's brilliant.
Thank you.
It's like you're a freaking genius.
I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. But I do have fun, and I'm very fortunate that I have friends and family who are always, somehow I always get them in the mix and say, it's when you get this call, it's like, oh, Nikki's calling. What could it possibly be? Hey, Chris, I got this idea. You want to be on stage with me? And here I am, and you asked me to be here.
Absolutely. Well, because you rock the creative scene in San Antonio, and what Vanessa was just saying about ADD, the way I interpret it as well is. It's multitasking and creativity. I mean, you've got all these creative things going, and you have the ability to juggle a bunch of creative plates at once.
I think
and successfully.
Well, some have been successes, but this is what I always say. What one person may look as a failure, I always take from it and learn so that it can become a success in some fashion. You celebrate the small successes, right?
Oh, yeah.
So while Rumors didn't make any money, we had great audiences, we had a great time, and so you kind of have to look at what are your priorities and what did you get out of the situation.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, and one of my favorite authors now, who I think gets it as far as the internet, Seth Godin has a line: "Fail early and often." Just go do stuff. And
I like that.
From your failures, you learn how not to do something, but as long as you keep doing stuff. So he says, so many people go, someday I will write the book.
Right.
Someday I will take acting lessons because I really want to act. And Seth Godin says, do it this afternoon. Go do it, fail early and often. And as you learn this stuff, you're going naturally to be successful. If you're going to fail 9 times out of 10, if you do 10 things, one of them's going to work, and you're going to be glad you did it.
I love that.
Yeah, I think, and that's a consistent theory throughout a whole bunch of, even like Think and Grow Rich theory. There's The Talent Code. That's one of my favorite books right now.
The Talent Code?
Yeah, you got to read it.
I don't know that one. Okay.
It's like this, it talks about how your brain produces neurons when you practice new things, and when you fail, it wraps them in this insulation called myelin that makes them shoot off faster.
Maybe that'd be my first ebook.
When people learn to play an instrument by ear, they make mistakes, but if they make that mistake, they won't make it again. And then they can consistently get better quicker by making mistakes versus learning something chunk by chunk.
I love that. I'll try that.
Yes.
Yeah, there's so many different examples. There's a soccer example, and just a million different examples on how this works. But I mean, it's the same theory of fail early and often.
Yes.
And then,
I have to tell you, though, and this happened when Sonny Melendrez was on this show about 3 weeks ago.
How cool does that sound?
I love Sonny.
I love
when
Sonny.
Melendrez was sitting right.
I love that.
In like 36 hours, and I had never read the book, but I had heard about it ever since I was in college. Think and Grow Rich.
Oh, yeah.
Within 36 hours, I get on YouTube and I'm watching a YouTube video of a guy named Jerry Hicks, who is no longer living, married to Esther Hicks. They live near Bernie, and she channels Abraham. It's a big thing.
Wow.
He's talking about the core. So I'm randomly looking at YouTubes, and he says, well, the whole philosophy began for me with a book called Think and Grow Rich. So I go, okay, that's interesting. Next day, Sonny Melendrez is in here talking to me. He goes, have you ever read the book Think and Grow Rich?
Oh my gosh.
I'm going, I just out of nowhere saw that on a YouTube from a dead guy yesterday. Then later that afternoon, I have lunch with Nina Duran and her boyfriend,
Nina.
Chris Haley.
Love him.
And Chris Haley, just out of nowhere, 6 hours after Sonny Melendrez goes, have you ever read the book Think and Grow Rich?
Really?
I'm going,
You have to read it.
The universe
I'm going,
is saying
this
read
is
it.
like Twilight Zone,
Throwing
Rod
it at you.
Serling.
Yeah.
So I went to Amazon that night. And it was written in 1937.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
So no, I'm halfway through it. But
Are you on ebook? Are you ebooking it?
well, because I originally bought it on ebooks, I didn't want to wait for it. So I said, okay, this is a dead guy, Sonny Melendrez, and Chris Haley, and all in one day told me to read this book.
I have it
I'm
on
supposed to read this
audiobook.
book.
I'll burn it for
so
you.
I got the Kindle, and then I ordered it because I like to highlight.
Yeah,
but
I have the hard copy.
It's so weird and then to hear you say it 2 weeks later, out of the blue, it's so weird to hear things like that.
I have my mom's copy when she was in college.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Yeah, so we're kind of, I am the book person. She's moved into the ebook, so now I have all her books. But yes, Think and Grow Rich is a fabulous book.
It is.
Who did it? Seth Godin?
Seth Godin, if you're going to look at one blog, Google, are you familiar with Seth? Yeah. Google Seth Godin, and he blogs every day.
Okay,
and
does he have like a Twitter?
He's brilliant.
He probably does.
He does. It's like this is Seth Godin or something like that is his Twitter. But he's got a blog. His books are spectacular, and he's all about the new media and the internet. And one of his points is, and it's kind of the basis of this show, is in the internet age, the gatekeepers have been eliminated. So if you want to do it, whereas before, if we wanted to do,
there you go.
Did you say? Yeah, no. If we wanted to do this show, and you and I have talked about the show,
because I think you're fantastic.
Well, no, but the way we had to do it was we needed to go. If we're in San Antonio, we got to go to KSAT 12, or we got to go to Ken's 5, or we got to go to KLRN. Please let us have a show, please. It's really good. Here's our script. Whereas now you can just talk now SA. Bam. Come to Geekdom, meet Roel Vento and Tommy McNish and Travis McGee, collaborate, make a show. You get Vanessa Macias on it, and you've got a show, and God knows where this will go. It might blow up, it might not, but nonetheless, we're doing the show. What I love about this is we're doing the show we want to do.
Right.
And if we want to swear, we swear, and we give the money to charity. And if we want to talk about Think and Grow Rich or anything, we can.
Well, I have an internet show that I'm producing.
Let's hear about it.
It's called SA Teen Scene.
Cool.
Where it's teen news reporters. It's all across town. We had auditions back in December. We had over 20 kids from all walks of life between the ages of 13 and 19 show up.
Nice.
And then we selected a group of 5 core reporters. And then we also have the rest we kind of have as correspondents. We did a day of training with Cassandra and Ted Garcia and Mike Smith, all from Fox News. They did an orientation about what the world of news really means.
Yes.
And it was a fantastic thing. And the kids were even the parents were like taking notes.
Oh, wow.
And so then we got them up on camera, and we've been going strong ever since. And now people, we had Austin Mahone. He's a teen pop star.
Teen Pops. I'm
Chris
so.
And I were just like,
other than Justin Bieber, I want to say this though. I know. I want to say this about SA Teen Scene.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And if you think about it, who is more connected and will continue to be more connected than someone who's a teenager right now?
Correct.
And to find them, to create this show locally, to train them with actual industry professionals, and then set them loose. It's brilliant for them. It's brilliant for anybody who's going to view it, and it's brilliant for you. It's another one of your great ideas.
Yeah, Eric Armenta, Jamie Cox, Lee Hurtado, and I, we are all on the production side.
That's a great team.
It's a great idea.
Thank you. And so then we help the kids write their stories. They pitch their stories. We're working with the parents to make sure they get there. But then we also have the college kids, who drive and are indifferent. So we always find a range of news stories important to college, important to high school, and then we on the younger side, some of the tween, things they're interested, like Austin Mahone, and which was a huge episode for us.
Austin Mahone.
He's from San Antonio.
I am so unhip. Austin Mahone.
Sorry, like my cousin is in high school. And she was teaching me all kinds of slang yesterday, and I was like, I'm not cool. I'm not cool. But like, you come in and you're accessorized and you're done and you look very cool.
She has perfect posture. Look at her.
Yeah, her posture's
she's like perfect.
I'm sitting like a circus monkey in a chair that's been trained to do so, and
Vanessa Macias just said I'm cool. That's awesome.
Sleeves rolled up in shorts, and it's like I look like hell, and you're not cool.
Well, thank you very. I also have to give a shout out to my mom because she helps me with my fashion. So.
And you got a very cool mom. I got to meet your mom during Rumors. So, hi, Mom.
Totally. And so I've been very happy with SA Teen Scene, so make sure that y'all watch it. Maybe we can have the kids on sometime.
I'd love it. Website is at sateenscene.com?
sateenscene.com, and we also, everything is driven through social media, so every segment has a hashtag. So you can hashtag SA Teen Scene, tweet us on SA Teen Scene, but all the shows are on YouTube, and they've been shared and all around. And
fantastic.
Stuff. So our next episode, we're actually shooting today, and we'll be shooting for the next couple of days. It's our foodie episode.
Foodie episode. suck.
Yeah, so we're going to be at the Young Chefs Academy in Stone Oak, where they teach cooking classes to kids.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So we were all around town and having a good time.
Did you cook when you were a kid?
I'm a horrible cook, but I'm a great eater.
Really?
I'm a great eater.
See, I cook, and I remember my brother, bless his heart, would always not but make me cook when we were younger, because he's older. And so we'd be watching, like, especially summers when we were alone, we'd be watching, like, Beverly Hillbillies and, like, you know, the whole lineup that was on, chips and all kinds of stuff. And, you know, I'm making Hamburger Helper, of course, because he just loves Hamburger Helper. And I kind of get distracted by Punch and John, and I'm just like, ooh, I want to be, you know, part of California Highway Patrol.
That's right.
And I let the spoon melt in the Hamburger Helper.
Ooh.
And it's like, oh well, it happens.
Stir it up. Stir it up.
I mean, this spoon is probably from like the 70s, so it probably has every carcinogen in the world in there.
Oh yeah.
And I serve it to my brother anyhow, and he was like, this Hamburger Helper. It was a new flavor that we hadn't tried.
Yeah.
And he's like, we can never get this flavor again. It's awful. It's like, yes. That's what it is. And I never, like, it was like 10 years later that I told him, I melted a spoon in there. But he never let it go.
Did he grow a third arm or anything?
No, but he is a little bit different. And I'm going to attribute it to that spoon.
Since then. Yeah, no, I'm one of the worst cooks ever.
Why?
But my grandmother, speaking of
Thank God you're a bit, because if you were also, everything else you do, if you were also a great cook and a gourmet cook, at some point you've got to be bad at something.
Well, my grandmother wrote a cookbook, so talking about books, and so there's actually a picture on the back of the book where I'm like cooking, but I was only acting, right? Where she's like showing me, and we have like a famous picture of her and my mother and me, but no, I've never ever been. My mother, fabulous cook. We had a whole set up for Easter. I'm the decorator and the plater. I am not the cook.
The plater.
I'm the plater.
That's
it's all about
interesting.
presentation.
It is.
Right? But my mom is a fantastic cook, but this is how bad, Vanessa, I am. Okay, so one year as a gift, I got this plastic rolly thing. It's like, I don't know, I can't even describe it. I'm bad at describing it. It's this clear, round tube, okay? But it's hard, like real plastic. Yeah. And it is in my stocking, and it's to help you realize when the water's done boiling. It'll rattle.
No!
Wow.
That's how bad I am. I need that little contraption to help
my
me.
Stars! That's brilliant.
To me, a kitchen is merely extra storage for clothes.
I almost killed somebody. I almost killed somebody because I was like, hey, running around, and whenever we would have parties, I would cook everything from scratch. Yeah. And it was like one of the draws to come to the parties, I was like always cooking. And I was kind of behind. I was like, hey, can you boil, I'm just going to make some macaroni. Can you boil some water? And I'll run upstairs, change, come back, and finish it off. And the person with whom I was living was like, well, what do you mean? And I was like, you have got to be out of your damn mind.
I can't, no, that one's good.
No. And I was like, well, let's think about this real quick. We need a container in which the water could sit. Hey, let's try a pot, genius. And then we have to, somewhere in the kitchen, the water has to freely flow so I could catch it in this container. Hey, the sink, maybe the sink. And now we have to take this water and put it somewhere that gets hot enough to bring it to a boil. Let's try the stove. And I mean,
power of deduction.
Oh my God. I almost exploded. I was like, what do you mean, how do I boil water? How are you alive? How do you breathe? Like,
worst cooks in America, right here.
No, but I mean, you can figure out that part of it.
I can figure out some stuff. I can scramble eggs in a microwave. But see, cereal. There's
favorite cereal. Go.
I'm old people. Grape nuts.
Grape nuts.
Grape nut flakes, actually.
Nobody eats grape nuts. Ewell Gibbons died 30 years ago. Grape nuts.
Grape nut flakes.
But it's your favorite, like your favorite one?
And Life cereal. Those are my two favorites.
Lucky Charms, man.
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
I grew up with no sweet stuff in my house, so like that stuff was.
Lucky Charms. I have Pops right now.
No, I have never had any of that stuff. Okay, guilty pleasure, like when I would go, like when I was babysitting, as I mentioned, they had the babysitting company, and there was a family that had Fruity Pebbles. I would sneak a couple of
Fruity Pebbles.
Nice.
I did. Now, Grape Nuts was like the sweet cereal when I was growing up. My grandmother was all Sun Harvest. Remember Sun Harvest?
Yes.
All of our groceries came from Sun Harvest or Waite's Model Market, which is even older. I don't even know if you were in
that one. I don't remember.
You know where the Greenhouse Gallery is in Sunset Ridge?
Yes.
Before that, it was Bookstop.
Yeah, I missed the Bookstop.
Before that, it was Waite's Model Market.
Wow. Whoa, okay.
Yeah, and you can go in and get fresh peanut butter, kind of like the precursor of Trader Joe's or a Central Market, and so that's where we got all of our groceries. They were all organic.
So where did you live at that time?
I grew up in Alamo Heights.
Right.
I'm a bubble girl.
But see, I live right across the street from Sunset Ridge. So,
I used to stalk you.
So I'm wondering where you...
I used to stalk you as twin sisters. No, I lived at, you know where the Starbucks is at Austin Highway, Broadway?
Yes.
Yeah. That's where on Joliet. That's where
that's great.
That's cool.
My grandmother's not real happy. I just said that right now.
Well, you know.
Hey, but no, I used to live at the Barcelona. I had a condo at the Barcelona for years.
Yes.
And I used to go, oh my gosh, in twin sisters, I say, there's Chris Duel.
Well, when I met my wife, that's why my wife lived at the Barcelona. When I first met her. That's
why do I think y'all were college sweethearts?
When we were...
All wrong.
No.
Okay.
I was teaching comedy defensive driving. She got a speeding ticket, and I had all of her information.
For a teacher.
I had all of her. I had her driver's
Smart.
license, so I had her name, I had her address, I had her violation. I had.
Oh my!
So I was like digging her. I was digging her in the class for 2 days, and I thought, no way she'll ever go out with me. But I'll. So I sent her a card and said, "Hey, can you want to have lunch?" or something. And she was stupid enough to say yes.
How cute of a story
and
is that?
The rest is comedy. You can find love at comedy defensive
how
driving.
About that? Can I tell you how I found you?
Tell me.
You probably remember. I don't know if you know this. So I had a huge radio crush on him. Well,
Crush.
Well, I knew him from comedy, but I
which it amazes me that you would even talk to me after that, because I had
great.
some pretty rough nights in comedy.
I remember you were also teaching something at River Center.
I taught a comedy workshop for first-time comedians.
I peeked in because I had a friend of mine that took the class, so I peeked in. I was like, oh my gosh,
who was your friend who took it?
Vanessa Jackson.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, it's Fairy Tale Theater.
Yeah.
I was like, I have a huge crush on this guy. Who is he? So you couldn't easily find information on the internet back then.
It was pre-Google.
Yeah, pre-Google.
Yeah.
And so I was asking and stuff, and so I then heard him on KTSA years later, kind of forgot about you for a while, then heard you on KTSA, and loved the Get Your Goat segment. And then my friend Ross, Sir Celluloid.
Ross Rudiger, yes.
Yeah. And so I got a little information from him about you.
Nice.
And so then I was like, I just think he is the coolest thing ever. So then Chad, my business partner, we are at Chewy's. And I hear a laugh across the restaurant.
Loudest guy in the restaurant.
And I went, do you hear that? And he's like, I hear a lot of people. I said, did they call our number? I said, no, I hear Chris Duel. He's like, are you on this guy again? And I said, we have to go. So we literally went around the restaurant so I can
That is so funny.
Follow the laugh.
And I went up to the table and I said, I know you get this a lot, but I'm a huge fan of yours, and I can tell you what gets my goat.
I get that never. I'm a huge fan of yours. I get that never. But thank you. Yeah.
And then we finally connected on MySpace.
Yeah.
And now here we are. And
on MySpace. That was back in the MySpace era.
And I thought I was so cool, and I took a picture of my computer, and the picture was horrible, because now you can do like screen grabs. But I took a picture when you accepted my friend. That sounds like I'm Misty from Me or something. It was not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But now we're friends.
We're friends.
I'm still a fan, but we're friends.
Well, and I'm a fan of yours, so it's
That's
like
so nice.
It's a mutual thing.
I didn't know I had real fans. I'm so excited. I thought they were just like fake profiles.
This is kind of creepy. I'm not gonna. This whole thing, it's like I don't know how I'd react to any of this. Y'all are much nicer than I am.
Don't you
and
have
Beth is
fans?
much
But
nicer
you've
than
got
I am.
evil stalkers. You've got
don't you
you've
have,
got stalkers who
No, I
wear
have, like,
raincoats.
legitimate stalkers.
Yeah, who
Like
wear
creepers.
raincoats.
So like if I get a card, it's like,
get
hey, wanna go
creepers.
say, how do you know where I live? Do I need to move again?
Oh,
Like
you
that.
got creepers. No.
Yeah, see, this was just friendly stalking.
Yeah, but someone come. I don't know. I guess when people come out, they're nice.
Most of my fans are like 10 years old.
But you know what? I used to get people, and I don't know why, but when I was grocery shopping and I was at H-E-B, people would come in to grab my carts like, what do you eat? I was like,
no way.
but that's my grocery
That is
cart. Like, what if
crazy.
I had something embarrassing in there?
Yeah.
You know why? Because you were on Amazing Race. They want to be physically fit.
Before Amazing Race, and really when I did Amazing Race, I wasn't in good shape. My
No, but
diet
the
was
world before I
coffee,
even
wine,
knew
and Nutella.
Vanessa, the World Car commercials.
Yeah, I saw that.
As guys, before we like 10 years ago. When did you start doing the World Car commercials?
Like 03 or 04.
See, 03 or 04, guys would say to me on radio and otherwise, people would call in, have you seen the woman in the World Car commercials? Yes. Oh my! I mean, you were a
People
local.
would ask me.
You were the local it girl
You
on
were.
the World Car commercials.
crazy.
People wanted to know who you were, and you were, for guys, you were very memorable on the world, and probably women too, but I wouldn't know.
I like that into
You always had
looking
cute
at your cart.
outfits. You always had cute outfits.
I never had cute outfits.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
No?
No.
Okay.
And like I always like just bring stuff in. It's like, hey, what do you want me to wear? Put that together. Like, really? Okay. 'Cause that mean, I know my role. I'm a dancing monkey, and they pay me to do what I'm told, so I get it. But like, sometimes I would be questioning things like, yeah, I don't think that's really the best option, but hey, it's your world. Let's do it.
It's your world.
Your world. But yeah, I mean, they've been really great to me. I still do those commercials. Now I choose my clothes more frequently.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean,
but that is amazing longevity
seriously.
in local TV commercials.
It's evolved
a good
a lot.
relationship.
It's evolved a lot. Now overnights and weekends, and we do infomercials, and it's not like the wiggle and wink in front of the used car anymore. Now it's like actually talking about cars and financing and things that are important.
When you grew up, didn't you want to be like a Bob Barker beauty? Would you practice like the Vanessa? I would always practice like everything at the house. I'd be like, and this could be yours, Mom.
I tried out for actor's beauty.
Did you?
Yeah, and they told me I was fat, and I was like. What? Come back and see how much weight you can lose. I mean, they made me shimmy. Oh my God! They like, here, put on this swimsuit,
Seriously?
and it was like this big. It's like
wow.
I was like, okay, and like shimmy into it and jumping, and it's like, oh. And so I got my ass in that swimsuit.
Wow.
And I looked like a can of biscuits that's about to burst. It was like, and I was like. And walking around high heels and the biscuit outfit, and I was like, oh, car. And Bob Barker's like, what? This is after Bob Barker motorboated me on TV. Because I had a shirt that said, don't mess with Texas. And he was like, something's going to make you so happy. And I was like, oh, I didn't notice this.
Wow.
I didn't notice this until it aired.
Good Lord.
And it was,
poor thing.
He was like, reading my shirt. Like, I was like, it was like Braille. And
did he get his fake tan on you? His orange?
He does smell like.
When I was on The Price is Right. I was in the audience. You can go to my YouTube. It's like I put like a little circle. I'm going.
They took it down. Amazing Race took everything down. There was random people, strangers. I'll have you know, put this on YouTube because it was hilarious.
That is crazy.
And then once I did Amazing Race, they all disappeared.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
But no, so because I mean, he's motorboating me. I mean, he's like his face is. It's like he's nursing. It's like Grapes of Wrath.
Was that
here.
before or after some of the women sued him for sexual harassment?
It was after.
So you knew he was already a bit of a freak.
I didn't notice it when I was there because I was like so into like
you're in the
moment.
Barker.
Yeah, you're in the moment.
I was the dork that's wearing the "Don't Mess with Texas" T-shirt. Like, can I give you a hug? And like gave him a hug. He's like, and my arms wrap around twice because he's so little. And I mean, he smells like formaldehyde and chicken.
Oh,
and
he's orange.
He's orange, and he's just like he's
orange.
so frail.
Yeah, he's real.
Formaldehyde and chicken. That
he's
is
a slight man.
I think he's like Weekend at Bernie's animatronic out there.
No.
But I mean, bless his heart. I mean, just an icon.
That sounds like a punk rock.
And the Weekend at Bernie's reference.
Yes, it's great.
It was a great experience, except for the biscuit thing.
Minus of overall, it was still a great.
Well, no, and then of course, and this is I'm doing World Car commercials, and I win a TV, get off contest hero, and then my game is to guess how much a car costs.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, well, that was perfect.
No, it's not. What? I'm doing Kias. I'm doing all Kias all the time, and this is a Pontiac. And I was like, that looks like a roller skate. I bet you it's $6,000 or $7,000 because I'm doing Kias all the time. And I was like, but Bob, I know we're in California, so it's going to be a little bit inflated. Right? Go with 8.
And how much was it?
Like an $18,000 car.
That's great.
It was so off base, and my mom's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to do with you. That's just dumb.
Well, at least you had the experience.
No, it was so much fun. It was so much fun.
Yeah?
And then we went and ate a lot of ice cream afterwards. I was like, that swimsuit. She's like, that swimsuit was not your size. Wow. Yeah, it was. But the people in LA are so small.
Yes, I had my internship out in LA, and one of the things I got to do, I'm aging myself again, but do y'all remember the movie Teaching Mrs. Tingle?
No.
It was like Kevin Williamson, who did Scream movies. This was one of his other movies. Well, Capitol Records, who I was interning for at the time.
Were you in the cool Capitol Records building?
And it's Hollywood and Vine.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so this is a program called the Media Workshops, and we were actually housed at USC and UCLA.
Beautiful.
They would divide up
I think
the
Chris
students.
has been housed there too.
Yeah, exactly. And then they would ship us to these different places to work and stuff. And so at Capitol Records, they were doing the soundtrack, and so we got to go to the red carpet premiere with all the celebs. Katie Holmes is the star of the movie, and Barry Watson's in it, and anyway, it was a fun thing. Well, Courtney Cox and David Arquette were together at the time, and they were doing a cross promotion with Scream, and so they were there. And so there's a picture. Literally, Courtney Cox, who was super skinny, and I was half my size.
They are such small people.
I was half the size then. Okay, and I'm putting my arm around her, and my arm here, my wrist is the size of her upper arm. It was so skinny. And there's a picture of me on my website with Katie Holmes, and it looks like I'm like, I got my arm around her. It looks like I'm hugging her. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like a cow out here. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And I just was like, wait a minute, maybe I'm like a plus size model. Maybe I should think about how I get to remarket myself.
Yes. I also auditioned for Deal or No Deal. Remember they had the suitcase girls?
Yeah.
And I was looking around,
was on there.
and I was like, yeah. And she seems like she's, she's a curvy girl. She's small, like shorter,
she's tiny.
small.
Yeah.
But she's
short. Yeah.
And so I went in, and I was like, okay, I'm looking around. It's like, I look like Shrek. I look like Shrek. And I'm wearing this dress that I thought was low cut.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of a fuller bottom. And everybody there is dressed like just hoed out. And like I see rib cages coming out of people's backs. Like, not like, oh, I see a little hip bone or some collarbone. No, rib cages come out of their backs, like they're decaying right there. It's like you go through the desert and you see a cow that's just like you see cows in deserts. Like you see an animal that's like just decaying, it's just bones. And it's like, holy smoke. And I was just looking around, it's like, I do not belong here. I look like Shrek's mom, or like Medea in this thing. And then like we go through and I auditioned because I don't have the sense to leave.
But you want to go to the experience anyway.
And this is the same week as the Parker's Beauty thing, we're like, yeah, you're a little commercial. And I was like, what does that mean? I don't speak LA, like you're fat. And I was like, okay.
Wow, that means
LA.
fat.
That's twice.
Mine is, I'm ethnically ambiguous.
Me too.
I'm ethnically, which is a good thing, because
I think so.
you get to do a lot of
You could be Soledad O'Brien. You could be, isn't she ethnically?
Who's that?
Robin Meade.
Huh? Soledad O'Brien is famous for CNN. She's famous.
Oh, yeah,
She's
yeah.
famously
Exactly.
ethnically.
Yes.
Speaking of ambiguous, what is not ambiguous? We got to do a quick break.
Okay.
And we got to talk Spurs. She
Rangers.
She was at all the events. Oh, did you go to either the baseball game or the Spurs game?
I didn't, but I want to hear all about it.
She's nuts for baseball, and I got to hear what she said to the Miami Heat.
All right.
When they didn't play LeBron or D Wade or Mario Chalmers. But first, you got to hear this. And I haven't heard it yet. I saw her huffing and puffing walking in. Manrique Custom Vision, they sponsor our show, and I am a huge fan and patient because I don't have to wear glasses or contacts ever because I had the Z-LASIK procedure. Learn more about it right now. You mentioned Cassandra Lazenby earlier. Here she is with our good friend from Manrique Custom Vision, Richard Doinoff, to tell you all about it. Then more with Nikki Young, and Vanessa's going to tell us if she embarrassed herself at the Spurs game last night. Coming right up. Check this out.
I did not.
I'm here with Richard Doinoff from Manrique Custom Vision. Richard, tell me, why is LASIK so important?
Well, LASIK's important for a couple reasons. The main reason is a lot of people don't know that contacts can actually do more damage to your eye than LASIK ever has. The contacts, of course, are setting on the surface of your eye. They can actually make indentations on your cornea surface. If you're fortunate enough to be in torics or the hard contacts, those, of course, the toric are for astigmatism. They have a weight on them. They go around your astigmatism, they grip real hard. Sometimes it actually causes dry eye. The hard contacts mash down the surface of the eye to make you be able to see properly because your astigmatism is so irregular on the surface of your eye. But at any rate, it does leave indentations on the front of your eye. Some of them can be so damaging that it will cause you not to ever be able to do LASIK or any other procedure. So Dr. Manrique can do your LASIK procedure totally blade-free. We do correct the surface of the eye so you can see just as good or better as you do out of your glasses and contacts. So you've been thinking about the LASIK procedure, give us a call now in the beautiful shops of La Cantera.
Okay, we're having a great I don't even know if we're going to get into it, and we may not, because it may not, well, I can't even tell you. But if we get into it, it's going to be very cool. But before we do that, and first I want to tell you, Manrique Custom Vision, I love it. They changed my life. I had 3 pairs of glasses. I got 0 now.
Wow.
354. I had distant glasses. I had distant prescription sunglasses because I couldn't drive with regular sunglasses because I couldn't see. So I had to have prescription sunglasses. And then I needed reading glasses to read. My eyes were so bad. And now my eyes are just about perfect. And I need no glasses or contacts, and I see crystal clear. 354-2020 in San Antonio, area code 210-354-2020. Nikki Young is here. Vanessa Macias, of course, is here. We got to let's start Spurs, and then we'll back up to baseball.
Okay.
Last night, and I was on one level, I was pissed off at the Miami Heat. On another one, I get it. It's like touche. We did it to you.
Has it come down?
Yeah, you did it to us. But let's back up. In November, The Spurs had played 4 games in 5 nights on the road, and they had to go into Miami on a nationally televised game on TNT and take on the world champions. And Coach Greg Popovich, Miami, by the way, hadn't played in 6 nights, and they sat at home and had home cooking and were relaxing on South Beach, and they were going to annihilate the Spurs on national TV on TNT. And Greg Popovich, the Spurs coach, said, you know what? It's been 4 games in 6 nights or 5 nights, something like that. I'm going to send Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, and Danny Green home. Give them the night off. They're going back to San Antonio. We'll play this game with our reserves.
I remember that.
And the Spurs darn near beat them.
Right.
And David Stern flips out the NBA commissioner.
That's what he does best.
Yes.
All he does is just sit there and flip out. Like, if he got paid for flipping out, then he'd be
millionaire.
Yes.
Well, he is.
Well, he is.
Yeah.
But so he fined the Spurs $250,000.
He's
which,
like Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah.
Little bastard's gonna jump down and fall into the ground.
So last night, the only night of the year in the regular season, we hope there's some playoffs, but that Miami is coming to San Antonio. Only night of the year. So if you're a Spurs fan and you want to see LeBron, or if you're an NBA fan and you want to see LeBron James and Dwayne Wade and the world champion, legendary, historic Miami Heat, you can only see them last night. So you've had your tickets in your hand for months. So the Miami Heat said, LeBron's hurt,
we're benching
and Dwayne Wade's hurt, and Mario Chalmers is hurt. It was basically in your face, Spurs. You did it to us. We'll do it to you.
Turnabout's fair play.
So from there, Vanessa Macias is at the game.
And I hope they get fined. But, I don't think they will because this game...
they lied and they said they were injured, unlike Pop, who said, I'm just sending him home.
Well, but this game, I was talking to somebody about it, and it's like, it's airing on Fox Sports and NBA TV. It wasn't on TNT. It wasn't on ESPN.
Not nearly as high profile.
They used all of their Heat games already, so they can't air it anywhere else. They have to air it there, is what I understand. And so it's like, one, you're not going to tick off anybody who is... like one of the big players there. They're going to get Fox Sports Net mad and NBA TV that they already own. So there's not going to be any conflict there. So they're not screwing anybody there. But come on. There are so many things going through my head right now because I talked so much crap about this game.
Yes.
I mean, tons. And I hate, and I don't know him. He's probably the nicest guy in America. LeBron James.
Wow.
Like I cannot stand him. That decision. It was.
I see the fire in your eyes.
July 8th, 2010 changed my perspective.
Not that she can't let it go.
Wow.
I mean, I just can't stand this guy. Now they have all this marketing that tries to make him look like he's cool and he's mellow and he gets his haircut and these little neighborhood barbershops. No, he doesn't. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. And you know who is drinking the Kool-Aid?
What?
About half the AT&T Center last night was drinking the Kool-Aid. And every time the Heat would score, I mean, it was almost as loud as when
I hate
Spurs
that.
And I stood up.
That happens when the Lakers come, and it happens when the Mavericks come.
And I stood up at one point, and I pointed, who are you people?
Good.
Who are you people? Shut up. Just everybody shut up. And, it got to the point, and the Coyote was on fire last night, where, I think there's a competition amongst the fans to be louder than the Heat. It's like, come on! I was getting up. I was like, let's go, get up! And I was sweating at this game.
Did you see a lot of Heat jerseys? Did you see
a lot of Heat jerseys?
Really?
A lot of LeBron jerseys, a lot of Dwayne Wade jerseys, and it's like, oh, they're not playing. Shouldn't you be out on the court? Go, get out of here. Pack your bag, get out. Miami's that way. Go. And I was punched a guy in the throat because he was gloating afterward.
What do you call road rage at the games?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Game rage.
It's just being spirited.
It's spirited. You're a passionate fan.
But no, this is a major problem with the AT&T Center in San Antonio. When the Lakers or the Mavericks and now the Heat, there are certain teams, there are front-runner bandwagon fans.
Thank you.
Really?
Who will wear the LeBron. Yeah, and you got the greatest team in the freaking world here in San Antonio, and you will go wear a LeBron James jersey or a Kobe Bryant jersey, or when they were good, a Dirk Nowitzki jersey for the Mavericks.
I do like the Mavericks, and I've never been I've never held that as a secret.
It's hard to be a Spurs fan and like the Mavericks.
I do like the Mavericks, and I like Mark Cuban.
I like Mark Cuban now because of Shark Tank.
I interned in North Texas, and I got
he does cool things for the military.
He does good things for the military. He does good things for charity, and he does good things for this rivalry. And I think, I always talk about how being polarizing makes something more interesting.
Yeah.
He's very polarizing.
He's very conscious about it.
He made this rivalry interesting, and we talked about it 1,000 times. Like in the 80s, who would give two hoots about the Spurs and the Mavericks playing.
Yep.
Nobody would. And now it's become this huge rivalry. It's nationally televised. I mean, this is a good thing for us to have somebody not like us. Because we need to be a little bit more polarizing.
Yeah.
So do you think that it's a group of fans that are just nothing but hecklers and they change out their jerseys for everybody else?
I think it's bandwagon front runners who embrace whoever's hot in the moment. And again, face it, Tim Duncan's never been sexy. Manu Ginobili, not really. Tony Parker, kind of sexy, I think.
Well, he's been a little polarized.
But compared to the mega NBA marketing machine that markets LeBron and Kobe and your hot, sexy Dwayne Wade players. And that's whenever the Spurs go to the finals, the ratings go down because the Spurs are about fundamental, and a lot of these other guys and teams are about showtime.
I also think it has a lot to do with the media geography about it, because we were talking about the other day, a lot of people in San Antonio are from San Antonio, and we don't like to leave because it's a great place to live.
True.
There aren't our reach isn't that far, and our media reach isn't that far.
True.
So, and also, we don't have people spread out all over the country the way a lot of other people do.
That's true.
You go to Miami, you can talk to 3 people, and they're probably not from Miami.
Right.
They probably moved there, probably migrated there, and you can talk to people here. It's like, oh yeah, I'm from Miami.
Yes.
So that reach is further. And then they have a small peninsula of a state where I'm sure their media markets overlap a lot.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of people there. So just geography and logistically, they're going to make more money in a national situation. But in San Antonio, regular season, this game, and these are the 2 hottest teams right now.
Yes.
You live here. You are witnessing some of the best years of San Antonio basketball.
Without question.
And you're going to come in wearing a LeBron James jersey? No, you're not. You're going to stay your ass at home and yell at your TV in the privacy of your own house, or I'm going to come up and punch you in the throat.
Stay away.
It's just wrong.
It's awful.
It's like spitting on everything that's good and right in San Antonio sports.
Disrespectful.
It is.
Yeah, we are very passionate about our Spurs at our house, and I was actually washing dishes after Easter dinner, so I could hear it in the background. But my uncle always channels. He can say everything before Sean Elliott says it. And so it says he channels like sports commentators or something. And so I could hear him commentating, and he was not
and I wonder how that went over too, because a lot of the country and a lot of the NBA TV feed was from Sean Elliott, and every time he says things like, we need to do this, we need to do that, and I bet you there are people like, oh, wait, who's we? The mouse in your pocket, or are you still playing for that? What's going on? We.
Once a Spur, always a Spur.
Yeah, no, that's great, but I think when that was going all over the country, there were probably some people that got, when I watch the Rangers play the Cardinals, for instance, and Joe Buck, who's the biggest homer in America, is like talking all this wonderful stuff about the Cardinals clubhouse, and I'm wondering what's going on if he's like visiting the Cardinals clubhouse after hours. And it makes me mad. Like, it makes me really, really mad. And it's like, okay, Joe Buck, calm down. Yeah. And that's a national thing. Just don't be such a homer. But I'm sure there are people, and that makes me happy.
Well, no, but as a Spurs fan as well, you talk about the angst last night that you had seeing LeBron James jerseys in the house. When Greg Popovich did this in November, at least Miami won a game they were supposed to win against a depleted, less than Spurs team. A salt on the wound last night that Miami, without LeBron James, without Dwayne Wade, and oh, by the way, you also sit Mario Chalmers. That's not that big of a deal, but he is their starting point guard. But to lose that game last night was god awful. That was awful.
And I always say, whenever the Spurs are up at the half, I always get a little nervous because they become complacent. And Pop is sitting down, and it's like first half of the fourth quarter, and he's sitting down and his legs are crossed, just chilling. It's like, no. I'm sitting, every game I'm sitting like this, and I'm getting up, and I'm sitting on the edge of my seat, and I'm going, like, I'm in this game, and Pop's sitting there like, it's just a game. It's like, get up and start coaching.
But
do
he's
something.
Pop. How can you?
Yeah.
And
how can you criticize Pop? That's like criticizing, Jesus. I mean, but look at Pop's record and look at Jesus' record. Pretty good records in their areas of expertise.
Jesus woke up yesterday and resurrected. Pop did not. Pop went to sleep.
Okay, that's a good point. You make it. But this.
I like that, Vanessa.
This is still the regular season, and Pop could still resurrect the Spurs in the playoffs.
I hope he does. I hope. But it made me like. It's like, why is he sitting there? Why is he just sitting there? I was asking everybody around, why? He needs to get up.
Well, I think part of it was because Miami didn't play LeBron and Dwayne Wade. He didn't want to look too intense about a less than Miami. They were supposed to win.
I think what the problem here is, Pop didn't realize how much crap I talked about this game.
It's all about you. It's all about you.
He had been sitting there like, how is this going to affect Vanessa's life? It's like, because I missed breakfast this morning. So I'm eating so much crow and humble pie.
Yeah.
Because I talked so much smack about this game.
I have a question. Do you think that maybe it was a strategy, to not win, so to end the feud and take the upper hand and the higher road and call this over? No? Okay, no.
To throw a game for any reason?
No. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just asking.
No. To end a feud. No.
Okay. No. Okay. All right.
That's a.
Well, and if Chris Bosh isn't left wide open to hit a 3-point shot,
they didn't even think about playing defense.
Yeah.
This whole time I'm screaming out. I've been screaming this out this whole season. Like, play some defense. Play some defense. Play some choice words. Defense. And it's like, there should be a swear jar at the AT&T Center. They would
win a whole.
Their salary cap would be
even
taken care of.
Yes, definitely.
And so no, it's like, play some defense. Like, and how many times do I have to say play some defense for them to hear me and play some defense?
Maybe you should be the life coach for the
Maybe
coach
I
staff.
should.
You would be very good at being an NBA coaching life coach.
Yeah, have you ever seen
you're
that
very
show?
Passionate.
Yes.
And
I'm looking into this.
I think you could motivate.
Necessary Roughness?
Duh. Yeah.
That could be you.
That was shot at North Texas.
Oh, no, not the movie.
Oh.
By the way, the movie is fabulous. No, this is the TV show on USA, same name. But there's about a woman who basically is a muse and a therapist for athletes.
Oh, my God, I would love to do that.
There you go.
See?
Yeah. Well, anyhow, they didn't even think about playing defense.
Do you believe now, and I've talked to a few Spurs fans since last night, including Roel this morning, do you believe the Spurs have any chance now to beat the Miami Heat assuming the Spurs can even get past Oklahoma City, and good luck with that,
Wow.
because you couldn't do it last year even with a 2-0 lead in the Western Conference Finals. If you play Miami's going to have home court advantage. It's a 2-3-2 format. You're going to have to win Game 6 and or Game 7 on the road to win that series, because you ain't winning it in 5 games. Based on everything we know now, it's a stretch to believe that this Spurs team can beat the Miami Heat in a 7-game series in the finals.
I think we can sit here and break down every little facet of every matchup on every level between the two teams, and we can bring Stephen Hawking in, and he can analyze it for us.
And we hope to have him on the show, by the way. Stephen, if you're watching on the internet, we want you on the show.
But I want him with like a Lil Wayne setting. It's like with a Little Wayne, like, hey, or was it Little John? Who has like Little John setting?
I think it's Little John.
Little John was in town last week.
Little John, where, it's like all synthesized and it's like rap. No, anyhow.
Auto-tuned.
I want him auto-tuned. Anyhow, but like...
If he did release a rap song, though, that would be cool.
I want Stephen
for really intellectual geeks, Stephen Hawking raps. Because he was on Star Trek 20 years ago playing chess with Data.
Yeah.
I don't think it's beyond him.
He comes on Big Bang Theory regularly.
See?
He does?
He does.
That's awesome. I have not seen TV outside of MLB, NBA, and NFL networks.
It's because you were on TV. It's because you were on The Amazing Race.
I should only have those channels. And like the fact that cable charges me so much is stupid because I was only on those channels. But by the way, most wonderful time of the year. It's baseball season.
God help us.
Like baseball?
I will watch in October. There's 162 games that mean nothing for most teams.
They mean everything.
All right. Let's talk about this.
Okay,
San Antonio had a baseball weekend.
Yes.
The Rangers and the Padres were here Friday and Saturday at the Alamo Dome.
Okay.
You were there, and you had pretty darn good seats from what I saw on Facebook.
Yeah. Because baseball. There's nothing in the world that makes me happier than baseball.
Wow.
Baseball, like you can come over, kick my dog, or tear up my apartment, which kind of looks like it already has been. You can just smack me in the face and say, hey, you know what, you want to go to a baseball game? I was like, yes, I would love to. And so Like we went with Virgil Thompson he's formerly of Cox the first night.
Yes.
And because he was like, I have these tickets, I don't know who to take, but you love baseball and you love the Rangers. Like, yes, I do. And we went, and then Brandon Thompson gave us tickets the next day, and I brought Eric Hinken from Bauhaus because he's from Holland.
Cool.
Never seen baseball, so I was like giving him all the slang.
He's never seen baseball?
He's seen it, but he's watched it, but he doesn't know.
But not live.
Not live, and I was, not with me.
Wow.
No. And so he's like learning baseball slang. It was so much fun. And, but I mean, these games, there were like 34,500 people the first night on Friday, and that's competing with the Spurs game.
That was pretty impressive.
And the next day, it was like 40,000 plus.
Wow.
And it was amazing. And, the dome isn't exactly cut out for it, and right field was a little bit shallow. It's 285. And I thought every left-handed kid going out there was just going to try and just drill it out. And I thought it would be jack after jack after jack out in the right field. But it wasn't. There was only one. And Jurickson Profar almost did it. He fouled. That kid is exciting. And I keep talking about that kid, but that kid's
now,
exciting.
is he a Texas Ranger?
Ranger.
See, I don't even know who that is.
His first at-bat was last Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
And
what's his name again?
Jurickson Profar.
Jurickson.
His kid was born in 1993.
His first name is Jurickson?
He's
That's his
barely
name.
20.
Okay.
Right. Wow. Or
just
20.
a kid, just a baby. And
Perfect for SAT&C.
First.
See, get him on. Get him on.
Yeah. His first at-bat.
She's always producing. You notice
Homer.
that?
Homer's his first at-bat in the majors. I was like, get out of town. And I remember I was at the JW, and I was at the pool, and I have my headphones on listening to the game. And I was like, oh my God, who is this kid? He's great. And I'm screaming and scaring people. But it was like, you say you can't watch it on TV. I listened to it on the radio.
Wow.
So, oh my God. It was just such an exciting time to see this kid. And I think he's going to make some real noise this year.
Good.
Yeah, I'm excited about
that's
him.
good.
Yes.
But aside from that, I mean, everything... it was a great game. The Rangers won, and any way you slice it, everybody's a home team there because the Padres and the Missions are
they're connected to the San Antonio
Missions.
Missions.
Are the farm team for the Padres.
Yes.
They start this week as well, on Thursday, and I'll be doing their in-house announcing this season too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So baseball all the time, and we'll talk Missions probably later on too. But it was.
I've never been to a Missions game.
Oh well, you should go.
You got to go.
You should be
I've never
my
been.
guest.
I'll do it. I've never been.
Yeah, and everyone should go to Missions games. But it was just such an exciting thing to see so many people, so many baseball fans, like JJ De La Rosa from the Talons.
Yes.
Is a diehard Yankees fan, and she was wearing Rangers gear, and I took a picture.
Wow.
It was
awesome.
great, and it was just, I really hope they do it again. It was just such an amazing experience. It was awesome. It was just so awesome. If we can get a real baseball stadium, maybe, good location would be where the dome is now.
Yes.
We just maybe implode it and then start over and have a multi-use stadium
that would be nice.
Accommodate everything.
Irony of ironies, though. Rangers win both of the games in San Antonio.
And then lose to
And then they go to
Astros.
Houston last night, and it's the first regular season game that counted last night in all of Major League Baseball, and the Astros beat the Rangers.
The Astros, they beat.
Yeah, it was
the
some
Rangers,
huge score.
It was like, I think 8-2 was the final. I mean, it was just like, and I was getting updates during the Spurs game.
So you must have been hating life. Spurs losing and Rangers losing.
I was emotionally torn.
I hit Whataburger hard. I tweeted it, and I was like, usually if I'm stressed out, I cook, and no, I didn't have anything to cook. So I tweeted, it's like, Spurs lose, Rangers lose. The only real winner here is Whataburger because I'm binge eating. Like, it was just, it was tough. It was tough. And
an emotional weekend.
It was. Highs and lows.
Highs and lows.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now, and we're near the top of the hour, and we're going to try not to torment Travis by going too far over. The other cool thing about an internet show is, TV, you got to stop right at the top. And there it is, 11 o'clock. We go, I think the worst we've done is like 20 minutes. It might have been longer. So sometimes we're in the middle of a conversation, we just...
I had a show that I was doing broadcast live from Sam Ash where we would have musical talent under the age of 25, and so sometimes my teens, would go on and play, and then the crowd would get crazy, so they would keep playing. So that's the beautiful thing about the internet.
It is. It is. Great. So you had a rough weekend. It's April 1st. It's a new month. It's April Fool's Day.
I didn't get to talk about
Fiesta
April
month.
Fool's Day.
Talk about April Fool's Day.
So when I was a kid, we used to do April Fool's jokes to each other all the time. It's like, you're ugly. Oh, just kidding, April Fool's, right? Things like that. It was stupid little kid things, right? And I went to private school, so it was 10 times worse, 10 times meaner. But the worst one I ever played was on my mom. So my stepdad and I, did you ever do that lockup with muscular dystrophy? where they
lock you up and you
up.
your friends have to pay to get you out.
Yes, and you raise money and everything. So my uncle is SAPD, and he was actually assigned to arrest the people, right? And so he happened to get me. And so he calls my stepdad and he says, hey, I have a Nikki Young on my list to arrest today, and so for that muscular dystrophy thing, and says, oh yeah, where is she at? And so he gave the address, verified it. Yeah, that's her. So he gets there and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Gordon. And I said, put the handcuffs on me and everything. He's like, I can't do that. Whatever. And so I was like, let's call Mom and tell her that you arrested me. And so he goes, I would not recommend that. I said, no, it'd be like a fun April Fool's thing. He's like, I don't recommend that. And so I called my stepdad. I said, call Mom and tell her Gordon arrested me. And he goes, oh, that'll be funny. Okay. So calls and says, yeah. And now at that time, my mom and stepdad had not been married that long.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Uh-oh is right. And so didn't really kind of get the sense of humor across. So he calls and says, hey, I just want to let you know Gordon had to pick up Nikki for good. Now, he said for a good duty, but she didn't get a chance to pay. He says, what do you mean pick her up? What do you mean pick her up? Oh, yeah, it's arrested for some charity thing. What? And she just goes crazy, like crying and ballistic and doesn't understand. Renee, calm down. I'm just kidding. What? She slammed the phone down.
Wow.
She was not happy with us.
You don't mess with people and things like that.
Right.
I'm just saying.
And Gordon says, told y'all, that was not a good thing to do. So then from that point on, I was like, it's probably not good for me to play April Fool's.
You have chilled on the April Fool's jokes against Mom.
Yeah, that
I used
ended
to
it.
do things to Bob when we were married, and little dumb things like the shaving cream and toothpaste in the toilet, and
now explain shaving cream and.
You gotta explain
you have a white toilet, you get white toothpaste and white shaving cream, and you put it all over the toilet. Could be either or both. And then when they least expect it,
they're not looking for it.
They sit down, they have shaving cream and toothpaste all over their.
That's something we would do at a slumber party. That's hilarious.
The Jolly Rancher, lemon Jolly Rancher in the shower head is a good one.
What is that?
You can't see it.
She's devious. I love that.
And you can't really smell it. It's kind of lightly citrusy, but you get all sticky. So you towel off and it's like you're sticky. So your natural reaction is to turn the water back on and get sticky.
Get back in. Vanessa,
I've never heard of such things.
Oh my gosh, my father was a firefighter. So I mean, he was full of them. They used to put pool balls, back when all fire stations had pool tables. They used to put the pool balls between the guys' mattresses. So when they lay down, they would kick out. They used to switch out a mattress and the box spring from one bed to the other. So like one guy would fly off and the other guy would fall in. I mean, there were so many.
It's awesome pranks.
Dad's a prankster.
Yeah.
Like I won't go over on April 1st. I mean, and you tie the little spigot, the sink spigot, with a rubber band, so when you turn on the sink, it shoots him in the face. That's great.
You have siblings?
My brother my brother gets mad pretty easily, so I don't really mess with him anymore. And he's in Houston now, so it's kind of hard. But I used to do it with Dad, and then, with Dad, you have to use reverse psychology. You've seen it all. So it's like, do not turn on the sink. It's broken. First thing he does is turn on the sink.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I was like, rah, but he was looking underneath the sink and it turned on the water to see like what was going on, what was broken, but it just shoots off and hits Mom. So it's like, Bob did it, and it took him 1,000 years. And I was sitting here watching him, and he turns on the sink and it shoots him in the face. He's like, what's wrong with this? And he turns it on again and it keeps shooting him. It was great. That was the best one. What else is there?
Are you a prankster?
The saran wrap on the toilet.
And that one I know about.
And what does saran wrap on the toilet do?
If you pee, it just goes on there.
Oh!
That one I know about. That was a Catholic school.
Oh, so it's over the top of the... okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was on the seat.
Yeah. You can,
okay.
Let's see. What else have we done?
Did you ever fall asleep at slumber parties first and get your bra frozen?
I don't sleep.
Oh, okay.
I don't sleep, yeah.
Like when you're in 6th, 7th grade, and you fall asleep first, your bra gets frozen.
All of your undergarments get frozen.
Yeah.
That's just wrong.
That never happened to me, but because I would always be like, please stay awake, please stay awake, please stay awake.
Yeah.
Okay, someone else fall asleep first. Okay, now I guess. Hold that very last moment. But yeah, so no more April Fool's jokes after that. So.
No more April Fool's jokes.
But I'm always game. I don't mind being the butt of jokes. I mean, that's kind of fun. I laugh at myself frequently, so it's all right.
Yeah, nobody ever plays jokes on me. Really? That's what's wrong with this.
Because they're scared. Because your retaliation would be legendary.
Listen to everything you already
everything Just tell all the Miami Heat fans to cross you, and they know your wrath.
They're ready for it.
Well, the joke was on me then, but no, I think there's not enough practical joking in the world.
I think we all need to lighten up
remedy
a little bit.
this.
I know that George Clooney is famous for playing jokes on sets and stuff, and so that's kind of fun. The only time I don't think I've ever had a joke played on me backstage.
We need to bring it back, like on the internet on this show. We need a plot.
I think this is a
we
conversation.
need a plot like high profile, a practical joke on District Attorney Susan Reed.
Oh,
wouldn't that be fun? So something like that.
I'm just going to sit here.
I'm just saying.
I would not say I'm partaking in that.
It doesn't have to be Susan Reed. It could be Henry Cisneros.
Yeah.
People
Henry,
we know.
The dome.
It's like a candid camera for people we know.
I think we should bring San Antonio Punk's back.
A local.
Like Punk
Yeah,
SA. Punk SA.
Punked SA. That's a whole new show, Roel.
Talked off.
Punked SA.
Talked about off of
hosted by Nikki Young.
Now they're going to be expecting it.
Punked SA.
That's true. I won't host it. It'll be me in a wig though.
No, but
if I'm in a wig, they won't know who I am because I wear wigs all the time.
But they may not. But if they're not watching or hip to Punked SA, then they don't know what's coming.
Right.
Like Borat. Like the first couple seasons.
Right.
Borat. Ali G.
First
few seasons of Ali G. Nobody knew it was coming.
Right.
It's like.
Like I would love to, like my mom and I always do this with each other. Like sometimes we act like we don't know each other when we're in stores, and so she'll be at the dollar store. She's like, "Miss, how much is this?" I'll be $1. Miss, how much is this? $1. And she's like, "And what if I buy 2? It's $2, ma'am." And the people kind of start looking around, and I go, "Ma'am, it's $2. If you have any questions, see the front." Everyone's like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with those people?" We kind of play jokes like that.
Very nice.
We're sick. We have issues. Apparently, we have issues too. So
yes.
Oh, there you go.
What an issue club! High five.
It's good to know somebody else has issues. We're gonna wrap just so that Travis doesn't kill us on April Fool's Day.
Yes.
Now I know we go look at sateenscene.com.
Yes, you can YouTube us. Please follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and follow me on Twitter. I would love. I got nominated for
Upstage Gal.
Upstage Gal.
And I think we've had that. There it is. Look at that.
Oh, look at that. Thank you, Travis.
At Upstage Gal.
Yes.
Follow Nikki
Wait, you
Young.
got nominated for who, huh?
Well, I don't know. You know how they had the best of and the current, and so a lot of people were voting me for like person to follow on Twitter. I don't know what the results are or anything. Obviously, none of us know that yet, but that was just very nice and flattering. It'd be nice to be like known for my social media efforts because I focus a lot on my social media efforts. Like
I'm gonna
a
pay more attention, see what you're up to.
Thank you.
And you talked me into Instagram, so it's you have influence.
And like me on Facebook, so I have a Facebook page as well. So yeah.
Yeah, y'all like me on Facebook because I think people like added me as a friend, but I try to keep that kind of private. Just
Yes, me too.
You know,
because she swears a lot on the personal page.
I think I swear a lot on the like page too, but I just it's usually the same stuff that gets double posted. But I just, the checking people in thing, especially with the security issues.
That's right. Stalkers.
Stop
stalking Vanessa, people.
It's nothing personal. If I don't know you personally, then it's scary.
then you're a stalker.
All right, so
stop
stalking Vanessa, but I stalk you.
But it's a friendly stalking.
And we're all
here
discussing it together.
Oh, nice.
The happy world of stalking.
The happy world of
stalking.
The silver lining.
We'll come back. We'll do a whole stalking show. We'll bring an actual stalker in here.
No, I have a stalker. We don't want to do that.
Okay.
I wish I had a stalker.
Not such a good idea.
What makes you feel
with the ladies, because lady stalkers tend to be serious. All right. Our thanks to Nikki Young. Follow her, live her life vicariously through her on the internet.
Something like that.
Go see sateenscene.com. It's all over YouTube. You can catch up on everything. Vanessa, Macias, what's happening this week? There's a missions game.
There's a missions game on Thursday.
Okay.
And that's all I got, I think.
There you go. And we'll be back tomorrow with some kind of show.
I do have one thing. Last thing.
Yep.
I have a movie now hiring that's filming right now in San Antonio, all about superheroes.
Cool.
And so hopefully we can come back this summer when it's done and talk about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, now you said, so the movie is called Now Hiring?
It's called Now Hiring, about an average Joe who ends up having to save San Antonio. And you can follow on Twitter, Mark Cantu, brilliant director here in town. And so I have a part in it, and it's a lot of fun. They did a Kickstarter campaign. It's all being shot here in San Antonio.
Fantastic.
So hopefully you can catch that. And if you follow me on Twitter, you'll get all the updates and all
Keep
that
us
good
posted.
Stuff. Yeah.
When there's footage to be seen, come back on and we'll Take a look at it, and we'll push it out there. Nikki Young, Vanessa Macias, I'm Chris Duel. Thank you to Travis McGee directing the show, making the show go on the other side of the glass. We are at Silver Fox Studios. Roel Vento, Tommy McNish, make it all happen. You should learn more about Silver Fox Studios. You can like Silver Fox Studios on Facebook as well. You can see any show we ever do, dating all the way back to February, at the website talknowsa.com. We live stream every weekday at 10 a.m., so we'll be here. Oh, and one more quick thing.
What's that?
April Fool's, Tommy. We're not getting out of here ever.
I know. This is the final thing. I meant to say this at the beginning. I went to my sister's house for Easter yesterday, and they got a big Google TV. So they watch internet shows on Google, and they did not know you could. It's Beth and Rusty, my sister Beth and her husband Rusty. They didn't know you could watch Talk Now SA full screen.
Nice.
So they show me their big Google thing, and yet we're like that big on the. And I said, you can watch full screen. So what you hover the cursor to the left of the screen, like right here. You hover where it says full, and you click on full, and it goes full screen. So if you're watching on a big screen TV or whatever your computer screen or iPad is, you watch it full screen. And I just assumed. I assumed everybody knew that, but
no, I never know.
I guess you got
technology.
Full screen right
Love
here.
Love it.
Watch
And it's
the show
11/11. Make a wish.
11/11.
And wish that Talk Now SA becomes the hottest show, continues to be the
Yes!
hottest show in San Antonio. Follow, like, make sure this is on your day Google list.
Yes!
Your calendar every day, 10 o'clock, right here, Talk Now SA. Vanessa, Chris. I'm Nikki. Thanks for letting me be here, guys.
Wrap it.
Awesome.
She's better than we are.
See you
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye-bye.
That's great. I mean, we'll go on forever if you didn't wrap that.
Bye.
Somebody has to wrap this thing.